if learning how to have your best day ever is important to you, stop scrolling and listen up. If it's not that important to you, if having an incredible day, the best day ever, isn't important to you, keep scrolling, right? So for those people who want to have the best day ever, you want to learn what you got to do to make this day really count. Okay, so the first thing you do, and how do you think I know all this stuff? I've made mistake after mistake after mistake, but I've been determined to figure it out. And I think I've figured it out, and I want to share that with you. So the first thing you do is the night before you plan your day. Figure it out. Figure out time-wise how much time you're going to spend on this, how much time you're going to spend on this, how you're going to transition from this to this. So you have a general idea of I'm going to do this till 10 o'clock, I'm going to do this till noon, and I'm going to do this till 2 o'clock. And then it comes down to discipline, right? So discipline is the key, right? You're going to either have discipline or you're going to have regret, but you aren't going to have both, right? One of them is going to get you where you want to go. The other one is going to give you all the reasons why you don't and you didn't, right? So you list the top 5 most important things you need to accomplish. That is absolutely critical. So you know what the most important thing is, what the next important thing is, what the next important thing is. So, and then you set that alarm and you get up early, right? Getting up early is absolutely key. You got to get up early, right? Getting up early is the name of the game, right? So when I like to get up early and work out, and I get my workout in as quick as I can, as fast as I can. I start my day with doing something active, right? I like to go for a walk. I like to go for a bike ride. I do my sit-ups, my push-ups. Every other day I go to the gym. Every other day I don't. When I don't, when I go to the gym, I have a routine that I do 3 sets of everything, about 20 machines and some weights and stuff. That takes me about an hour and a half, right? If I go right through. And if I stay home, then I go for a walk, I ride my bike. If the weather's terrible, I jump on a treadmill, and then I do my sit-ups. I do 15 chin-ups. I do 70 push-ups. I do 70 sit-ups, and then I do curls and rowing, and I do some exercise. So I know exactly what I'm going to do. That's the bottom line. I get my blood pumping. I get my body going. I get really into it. And when I do that, my brain engages, So when I had my last house, I started my day in my hot tub, right? I had the most therapeutic hot tub in the world. And if you have access to a hot tub, those are really great. So I'd have I had a Sundance Optima, which is the most therapeutic hot tub in the world. I would get out there at 5:30 in the morning. It would be 104, 105 degrees. I'd sit in there for about 10 minutes, and I didn't even need coffee. I'd get out, my heart would be pumping, and I'd be ready to start my day. So you get up early, and you win the morning, and you win the day. Think about that. Win the morning, and you win the day. Morning is critical. You want to get it done. One of my mentors, Jeff Lerner, has taught me that the most badass high performance people in the world, they get up early and then they crush it as early as they can, as fast as they can, and as furious as they can. Urgency is key, right? So I can't tell you, the biggest mistake we make is thinking there's enough time. The biggest mistake we make is thinking there's enough time, right? And I want everybody to do me a favor. Take your index finger and put it in your left ear. I know. Go ahead, do it. Come on. I know some of you have already done it, but some of them are holding out. I'm waiting. I'm patient here. You got a left index finger in the left ear. Okay, everyone there? Okay, so when I say the biggest mistake we make is thinking there's enough time, I want that to not go in one ear and out the other, right? So anyway, think about this. I used to be a public speaker. And as a public speaker, I used to go listen to public speakers all the time. And when I listened to public speakers, I would love to hear what they had on stage or what they said on stage, what they did, what worked, what didn't work, what to take advantage of and duplicate, what to avoid. If you want to get better, you always listen to somebody who's been there longer, done that longer, is better, more advanced, and they're great at what they do, right? Success leaves clues, right? So I would sit up front somewhere, but I would sit by a speaker and I'd have a cassette recorder and I would record what they had to say. Because if I'm busy taking notes all the time, I'm missing, while I'm writing and remembering, I'm missing what's going on there. So I didn't want to do that. So I would literally record what they were saying. So when I came back, I could listen to that and stop it and take notes and all that stuff. And I remember one speaker said something that was profound. In fact, when I heard it, I looked at my cassette player to make sure I was recording because I didn't want to miss that. And I've taught it ever since, right? And what that speaker said that gave me goosebumps was this: the world is full of competent men and women with untold talents and abilities who honestly intend to do something someday. But their accomplishments seldom match those of people with far less ability that are blessed with a sense of urgency. Urgency, I can't tell you how important it is to do it now, right? You heard me talk about the someday theory where, your whole life, you go through life. Someday we're going to do this. Someday we're going to do that. Someday we're going to do this. Someday when our kids are out of school, we're going to buy that motorhome. We're going to drive over the country and we're going to, see all the things we want to do. And someday when we pay the house off, we're going to buy the motorhome, drive all over the country and see all the things we want to see. And someday when we sell the house, we're going to buy. And the bottom line is someday never comes. So I'm going to say that one more time. The world is full of competent men and women with untold talents and abilities who honestly intend to do something someday. But their accomplishments seldom match those of people with far less ability who are blessed with a sense of urgency. So we got to win the morning and we win the day, right? So you're not going to win the day if you screw off and don't accomplish much in the morning. It's going to be a lot harder to catch up, right? So you want to take advantage of the morning, right? So after you get your workout in, you're feeling good, your brain is working, you're charged up, you're fired up, you're ready to attack, and remember, if you're going to say yes to all those things that are important, the 20% stuff that produces 80% of the results, you got to get really good at saying no to everything else, right? So I'm in an environment that's distraction free. I turn off my phone so I'm not listening to my phone beep or ring or buzz or whatever and wondering what's going on there and everything. I eliminate those distractions, right? So those are absolutely out of the picture, right? And then I knock off the most important thing first. And then I knock off the next important thing next, and then and I take them off one by one, check them off, right? Give yourself the gift every day of completing something, getting something done, right? And then when the day is done, you want to reward yourself for all the stuff you've done, all the stuff you've accomplished. Pat yourself on the back, go out and buy yourself a dinner, do whatever, do something that's really good because you've earned it, right? And then, you make a list of where you weren't so good, right? And, you don't get hung up on that, but you learn from it, right? One of the best things about Michael Jordan was whenever they lost, they usually didn't lose at home, so it was usually on the road. But when they lost a game, by the time he got on the bus, the team bus to go to the plane to fly back to Chicago or wherever they were going, by the time they got on the bus, he had already put that defeat in the past and was already focused on what he had ahead of him, right? The next game, right? Because that one, there's nothing you can do about what's already behind you. So, you want to break off the rear view mirror and burn that bridge and move forward, right? And then you want to think about how you could do it better, right? And the thing that I want to make sure you realize is that, sometimes you get off track. Some days you're not going to stay on course. You're not going to do everything you want. Something's going to go wrong. Something's going to come up, right? Something's going to pull you off track. The difference between the winners, the successful people, and the unsuccessful people is whenever winners get off track, they're very quick at getting back on track, right? So the people that aren't so successful, they get a flat tire and they don't go to work that day. They use that as an excuse to not even go into work and not to. So you don't want to be with them. If you get off track, you want to make sure you get back on track as fast as you can. And then the last thing I'll say is if you perfect this and you create the very best day ever, the advantage to that is you learn how to do it, and then you can do it again tomorrow. And if you do it again on Wednesday and on Thursday and on Friday, and guess what happens? You've had the best week you could possibly have. And if you take that week and what you did on that week and you did it 4 times, guess what happens? I know the questions are getting a little more complicated here, but you have a great month, right? And if you do that 12 months, guess what happens? That's how you have the best year of your life. So anyway, I hope you got something out of that. I hope you're having the best day of your life, or at least you just learned how. I hope you apply it the next day, and I look forward to talking to you again sometime soon. Thanks, and have a great day.